Hello, hello! Today I will be bringing you my first experience with a Royal Navy ship, the Campbeltown, a T3 premium destroyer. Now, I actually quite like the looks of this ship. I like the pale blue camo and the overall look of the ship, even though it looks like it might be riding a bit too high in the water maybe. Like you could see some red line above the waves, which was a bit strange. I don't know, maybe it's intended that way. Felt strange. Now, my very first gripe with this ship is obviously going to be the turret placement. Now, if you look at the bottom left, or if you look closely on the ship, you can see that it's got one turret on each side on the front and then one in the middle. Ultimately, what this means is that you can only bring two turrets to bear at a single target at any time. And if you're sailing right away from straight, like kiting someone, then you can only bring one turret. And you still have to be slightly angled. So the turret placement is extremely awkward. But so obviously, since you only can bring two guns to bear and the rate of fire isn't anything special, then obviously this is not really much of a gunboat. Like you got the Russian and the US ships that are far superior at this. So gunboat is pretty much straight out the window. The torps at first glance they look quite good. They got 7.5 kilometer range, which is quite decent. But they are slow, but they do decent damage. So I guess for low tier torps they're okay. But the biggest issue is the fact that when it says 2x3, it's 3 per side. Meaning the biggest volley you can launch without having to turn your ship around is literally 3 torpedoes. And that's very underwhelming. I mean, the Dursky literally launches a volley, I can't even remember how many. The weakest can launch 4x3, 2x3 per side, so you can launch like 2 6 torpedo volleys per side, which is a huge, especially in these type of situations. You can just blanket that guy with torps. And of course, there's not only the torp advantage, but of course the gun advantage. Like, I'm pretty sure even the Wakatake has better DPM with the guns than this guy has. Now the concealment, well, you might think, well, what's the upside here? Is it the speed? Well, not really. The speed is 35 knots. I mean, the weakest has, I think, 34, the Wakatake has 35.5. I'm not 100% certain if I remember these numbers correctly, but it's all in basically the same ballpark. The maneuverability is pretty much the same rudder shift, same turn radius, so once again, absolutely nothing special. And concealment-wise, it's got 6.5 with the camo, and I think that's pretty much exactly the same you can get on the weakest. Basically, the weakest has 6.7 without camo, so I think you could get 6.3 maybe? I mean 6.4, something like that. 6.4, 6.5. Pretty much the same. Once again, very much in the ballpark. Not even close to the Wakatake, of course. So, ultimately, I'm not really certain what the point of this ship is supposed to be. It's like, it's a pretty bad gunboat, because once again, even the Japanese DD probably has better gun power than this one has, because it can shoot with 3 turrets at this time, you can only shoot with 2. The Wakatake guns are higher caliber, higher chance of fire, and yeah, pretty much if you get a full broadside to bear with the Wakatake, I feel like you can pump out much more damage. So it's not really a gunboat, but it has so few torps. It's not really a torp boat either. You can't really YOLO in and kill someone because once again only 3 torps per side, like Dursky and Wickes is much better at it. So the anti-air it does have some anti-air, but it's really pitiful, so it's not really even worth commenting about. It doesn't have any module changes, like you can change some stuff, torpedoes and such. There is no options. You can only go with the default repair, smoke, speed boost, and APHE. They're pretty much identical to Wicca's guns. So I'm honestly at a loss here. Like, this is my first experience with a Royal Navy ship, and it's pretty fucking mediocre. Like, this is a ship that I literally don't see any point in. Like, I feel like it's released for the guys that are collecting all the ships, or for the guys that I really want like Royal Navy ships, like they're gonna cash in on those guys. because this ship is incredibly underwhelming. There's nothing to it. I'm trying to think of some positive side, something that I can put, something like yay, and literally the only thing I can think of is that it looks pretty, which it does. But other than that, there's nothing to it. If I want to play torpedo boat, Wakataka is amazing. If I want to play gunboat, both Dursky and or Derpsky and Wickes are amazing at it, especially because YOLOing in with those two and just launching like these huge floods of torps at guys is hilarious. And this guy, well, you can shoot with these two guns. Pew pew. And that's pretty much it. Smoking up so I can keep shooting at him, but yeah, like this gunpowder this is like an AFK because and this gunpowder is just so incredibly underwhelming. It just feels so sad. Is that yeah, okay, this is of course this is low tier, so even these torps, even though they are underwhelming, can still work because people haven't uncovered the huge hack called WASD, aka actually turning your ship when you spot DDs, or even in general turning your ships. So that's why you kind of tend to land. And of course you have these battleships that think standing still in the middle of the open is a valid tactic. I lost vision of the weakest, that's why I'm moving out of my smoke. Ooh. Ooh. Come on, I believe. The battleship is shooting me. Oh. Honestly, I'm not even surprised. But somehow I feel that kind of sums up this entire ship, that detonation. Like, this is the most underwhelming premium ship I think I've ever played. So, yeah. I don't know, what else is there to say? Am I gonna... Well, that guy literally didn't move, he sat there still eating my torps. Am I gonna get the kill on the Wickers at least? With my glorious fire? Come on, I believe. Ah, wow. Well, no glorious fire kill, no glorious anything kill. We're probably going to win this game though, this is just... I mean, yay! I scored highly, that's nice. But, yeah, you saw the gameplay. What else, what is there even to say at this point? I'm just gonna go over to modules and upgrades now. Anyway, modules, nothing to change sadly. You can't even switch type of torp. Upgrade wise, I went for the torpedo tubes, but considering I detonated in like my second game, it's probably better to just go main battery mod. And to maybe preserve one of your sad little turrets as well. I went engine, but this is kind of optional since captain perks wise, I went of course for situation awareness followed by last stand, the must-haves pretty much for any DD. Follow this up, I will probably go vigilance, superintendent, AFT, and concealment expert. That would probably be my logical conclusion. But actually bothering to level this that far is probably never going to happen, because this ship in my opinion is honestly only worth getting if you're a collector. I mean, I think the concealment on this is pretty much the same as the Wickes with the camo. Wickes has 6.7, and with camo you get it to I think the same-ish. And it pretty much handles the same. It's 1 knot faster, but it's still slower than the Wakataka, I think. The torps, you only got 3 on each side. I mean, it works somewhat at this low tier because people are too dumb to actually avoid. But 3 torps per side is very underwhelming. So if you want a torp boat, the Wakataka is far superior because the reload is so long. Main battery, as I said, highly underwhelming. Like, I'm pretty sure even the Wakataka pumps out better DPM than this one does, simply because even though this one has a faster rate of fire, the Wakataka can shoot with 3 guns at the same time. Like if you check the Waka, let's see the Wakataka. Yeah, you see how the guns are placed out. You can, if you give broadside, you can shoot with all 3 of them at the same time, and they're actually larger caliber, so they hit harder, and they have a higher chance of fire. So, and of course the Wickes has shit tons of torps. It's got 4x3, so you can literally YOLO with both sides, 6 torps per side, and of course gun-wise, you can bring... how many guns is it this guy can bring? 3 guns as well. 3 guns you can bring to bear, which is once again more than you can on the Campbeltown. So, oh, you can upgrade torps as well. So, yeah, honestly, the Campbeltown, it's... if you're a collector, then yes. Other than that, I have absolutely no reason to recommend this ship for anyone. Anyway, that was my Campbeltown commentary. I hope you enjoyed it.